What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got the first of 3 videos I'm releasing over the next few days going over who I think the Cowboys should target in free agency. Now, before we get into the list of defensive tackles I have on my mind, I would just like to point out that the majority of you still are not subscribed to my channel. So if you are one of them, please hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button to get notified anytime I upload a video or go live. Drop a like on this one and leave a comment down below at the end what you think of what we talked about in today's video. Now, defensive tackle. I mentioned it already. It is a big need on this team. For those of you that don't know, last year the defense was terrible. It was historically bad. As far as the 60 some odd years the Cowboys have been in existence, the defense that they showed last year was one of the worst the franchise has ever seen. And the defensive front did not help. Is the pass rush good? It's all right. We've got DeMarcus Lawrence. He's pretty good. Aldon Smith slowed down towards the end of the year. Randy Gregory showed some promise down the stretch. But as far as the interior, I mean, there's hope there. Neville Gallimore, Tristan Hill, Antoine Woods played okay, I guess. Cowboys were the league's worst team when it came to stopping the run. That has a lot to do with the interior defensive line. Also a lot to do with the linebackers, but the first thing those running backs got to come across whenever they're running up the middle is what you got there on the interior. And while, like I said, there's some hope there with Neville Gallimore and Tristan Hill, it's nothing that really, grabs your attention. And that's a big reason why I think the Cowboys need to make a splash in free agency at that position. You can draft a defensive tackle in the draft and maybe hit big, but really, when your offense is this good, and obviously Jerry thinks the Cowboys are in win now mode, which they are, you need to be able to go out and get a defensive tackle that's proven he can stop the run and do it well. So next to me are a list of 3 names who I think could potentially fix the Cowboys' struggle up front: Dalvin Tomlinson, Malcolm Brown, and Gerald McCoy. Now, these are just 3 names, some dream scenario names. If the Cowboys fail to acquire any of these 3 guys, there's obviously some other dudes out there. Sheldon Rankins, or Rankins is however you say his name. Don't quite remember. Jarrell Casey, if you want to play him on the interior. Lots of run stoppers out there, but I think, like I said, if your defense was the worst in terms of stopping the run, you need to make a splash at the defensive tackle position. First up, we got Malcolm Brown, who was recently cut by the Saints in order to create more cap room because they are in cap hell right now. Malcolm Brown, by the way, I'm going to be looking off to my left here a lot this video as we go over these players. That's where I got my stats listed, so sorry if that bothers you. But a pure run stopper, 27 years old, 6'2", 320 pounds. In 2020 with the Saints, 27 tackles and a sack. Yeah, not many sacks. A common theme you're going to see amongst the 2 other defensive tackles, in addition to Malcolm Brown, is pure run stopper, not a lot of sacks, because the Cowboys aren't really looking for a pass rushing defensive tackle. I feel like I don't need to go over it again. I've kind of already told y'all the whole thing. Like, the Cowboys are bad in run defense. So what do you need? You need a guy that's going to disrupt the run. Malcolm Brown is exactly that guy, and he could be considerably cheaper than Dalvin Tomlinson, who we'll go over here in just a second. Although I'd rather have Dalvin Tomlinson if he's too expensive, because we know Stephen Jones doesn't like to spend money. Then Malcolm Brown might be the fallback option. I'm actually going to save Dalvin Tomlinson for last. Gerald McCoy up next. He's a guy that the Cowboys took a chance on in 2020, and unfortunately he tore his Achilles in training camp. I believe it was in training camp. I know he didn't play a single snap, which really sucks, man. I mean, Gerald McCoy, I'm a fan of Gerald McCoy off the field. Gerald McCoy is a mentor. He was a mentor for Neville Gallimore even after he got cut by the Cowboys, which is a big reason why I like Gerald McCoy. You always talk about, this defense needs a veteran presence. We look at maybe Richard Sherman, Pat Pete. What about Gerald McCoy up front, man? Gerald McCoy is, like I said, just a mentor. He's exactly the type of guy you want in your locker room. The downside to Gerald McCoy is the fact that he's on the wrong side of 30. Coming off an Achilles injury, he did not play last year. If the Cowboys can't seem to get Dalvin Tomlinson or Malcolm Brown, this is option C. Finally, the guy I want most, Dalvin Tomlinson. He is a year younger than Malcolm Brown, coming in at 6'3", 318 pounds. For the Giants last year, 49 tackles, 3.5 sacks, so a little bit better than Malcolm Brown. Probably going to be a little more expensive. He's probably the best defensive tackle on the open market right now. Another thing about Dalvin Tomlinson, and we mentioned with that veteran presence that Gerald McCoy possesses, Dalvin Tomlinson kind of carries that too, but as a younger guy, not necessarily a veteran. maybe, but he's widely respected by his teammates, named a team captain by the Giants, Walter Payton Man of the Year candidate. He is exactly who you want in your locker room, especially with such a young defense and a defense that was kind of lost last year. Didn't really have a leader. I mean, I guess you could consider Sean Lee one, but nothing that really amped them up at any point in the season. I think Dalvin Tomlinson could be a great fit for the locker room and on the field. Now, will he be expensive? Probably. So that's where we might see some trouble there, because we know Steven and Jerry Jones don't like to spend big on free agents. But I mean, if they want to have a good defense and it starts up front, then I think Dalvin Tomlinson is their guy. That's going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Check back later today for a Madden video and tomorrow as we go over either the cornerback or safety position. Also, check back on Tuesday as well for another one of these videos. Y'all have a wonderful day. Like I said, if you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one.